Welcome to the Fans Ed Sports Show. But thank God I'm not a Florida fan. Just out here looking trash.
People called me crazy for saying they had 6 losable games on their schedule.
That's where I picked y'all preseason.
So I don't know how, but somehow they got some excitement around their program right now.
Welcome to the Fans Ed Sports Show, hosted by your boys Cleveland Mike and Terry from College Football Stop, man. Terry, how are you doing, man? We had Thanksgiving. How was your holidays? How was your weekend?
Brother, so much shit has happened since the last time we talked on here, man. I'm good. Thanksgiving was great, bro. I mean, how was your Thanksgiving with your family?
Man, it was good. My wife and I, we threw down in the kitchen, man. I felt like everything was good, man. Turkey was good. Shoot. The dressing was good. Everything. Mac and cheese was good. Can't complain, man. Everything was pretty good, man.
Hey, my wife made breakfast. So we had like a big breakfast at our house. Had the whole family over for that. You know what I mean? Then we went over to my grandma's house for like Thanksgiving dinner, lunch, whatever you call it. You know what I mean? So it was a good time, man. Everything went smooth. So thankful for that. You know what I mean?
For sure, for sure.
Obviously, that's the good stuff that happened. We got a lot of shit to talk about. So.
We definitely got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. But you know, as usual, when we get into this show, man, we always gotta talk about the rankings. And you know, we talked about this from the very beginning, before the season even started. In the off season, we have talked about this, and the beginning of the season, we've talked about this, and even when the first rankings came out, we said that there's going to be someone sitting at 12, sitting at 13, 14, right? And they're going to feel left out, right? Shout out my guy C-Ball, you know what I'm saying? They are going to sit there and feel left out. And right now, you've been hearing majority of the season the SEC coaches crying about, hey, they feel like they should get 5 teams in and all of this, right? Now you're starting to hear like Miami's AD sounded off about it. Miami's head coach Mario Cristobal has sounded out about it. And now we have gotten a soundbite from Cam Ward, the quarterback from Miami. I mean,
that's crazy.
So, but here's the thing, you know, as they rank these, you know, Ohio State ends up sliding down 4 spots down to 6, right? By the College Football Playoff Committee rankings. They are the second 2-loss team in the rankings, and then Tennessee is the third 2-loss team behind them at 7, right? So, I mean, there's still some things that can shake out. You have Georgia and Texas. If Texas loses, I don't think that they're going to be I think the College Football Playoff Committee also said no one is going to be harmed or whatever from the results of the playoff committee, but I don't think that is true. Because here's my thing. Here's my thing, man. If SMU is out, right, does that put Clemson up there in? You know, I mean, do they? They're obviously not going to leave the ACC out, man. So,
I mean, whoever wins the conference will get out of bid,
right?
I mean, so, I mean, I would imagine that that if SMU loses that game, though, that they'll be out. I mean, I know they don't want to change the rankings too much based on the conference championships, but I mean, a team like SMU, I don't know.
Okay, so are all the conference champions guaranteed to get in the college football playoffs? Because here's my thing, right? Right now, I mean, we got to look this up real quick, because right now you have the Big 12. They're not, the playoff committee is saying, hey, we're putting Boise State ahead of the Big 12, right? You got Arizona State.
Show me the rankings on here, Mike, the top 12. Pull the graphic up while we're talking about this real quick.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see some. Oh,
All right, there we go. I mean, we obviously don't have Arizona State is sitting at 15. Iowa State is sitting at 16, going for the Big 12 championship. But should the Big 12 champions even be in there? Should they even be considered? Because that's the thing. You're going to put the Big 12 champion in over Miami, over Ole Miss, over South Carolina. Do you really believe in the Big 12 like that?
I mean, I just think it matters who it is because it's like the top 4 conference champions are what gets in. So I mean, I guess if there was 4 other conferences that have a team ranked higher than whatever the Big 12 champion is, it doesn't mean that they'll automatically get a bid. But I mean, they'll probably be in there, dude. I mean, I don't know, Mike. I think it gets so hairy, dude. Once you get past like, like really, honestly, like maybe 8. Once you get past like 8, bro, the rankings just get so hairy. You're dealing with 3 lost teams versus 1 lost teams who haven't really played anybody. So I mean, it gets real hairy, dude. Like, I mean, what if it comes down to like this, this Big 12 team you're talking about or Alabama? Like, who do you think is the better team? Because ultimately, real quick, let me finish this. Let me wrap this up because ultimately the 12 or the playoff rankings, that what the committee's supposed to do is the best teams. I know that everyone this year, since we've gotten into like 2 and 3 lost teams, everyone this year seems to want to look at like the most deserving team, but that is not ever what the college football playoff ranking committee was supposed to be. Even now that we went to a 12-team playoff, it's not the most deserving teams. It is the 12 best teams. So I honestly, like, that's what I would rather them get the 12 best teams and let the chips fall where they do, as opposed to arguing like, does this team deserve it over another team that, like this team lost to this team and this team lost to this team. I don't know, man. Like there's going to be some human factor in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And here's a side part. So I just looked it up just to make sure or whatever. So the Big 12, basically it says that the 5th conference champion will be seated where it was ranked or at number 12 if it's outside the top 12 rankings. So, I mean, that tells you right there, wow. Like, hey, this is why they're already talking about going ahead and expanding it to what, maybe 14. And I think 14 is the correct number because like I'm sitting here saying right now, like at 15, you got Arizona State, you got Iowa State, you got Clemson at 17, BYU at 8. It's just like once you get past like 14, I don't even really want to talk about the teams at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Mike, real quick, let me ask you something. So you just read that off, and I might need you to read it again. So are you saying that the 5th highest rated conference champion gets an auto bid to the playoffs, but just not in the top 4? Like if they're, let's say that 5th conference championship team is ranked 17, they automatically get moved up to 12?
Yeah. So right now, Clemson is sitting here at 17, right?
Okay.
So they could win their. It's the weird part. Like if Clemson wins their conference championship, right? They'll be sitting at 9-3, or they'll be sitting at 10-3. But the committee has a decision. Do you value the ACC more than you value the Big 12? Because then you're going to have to sit here and say, hey, is the Big 12 and the ACC even? And then we push Boise State's conference down, and Boise State will no longer be ranked higher. I mean, the committee said there's a lot of non-jumping that's going to go around, but it's really all depending on who's going to win this game, bro. If Clemson wins this game, I think SMU is out of there, and it's sad. Because their second loss will be in the conference championship game. Who the only other team to take out for SMU if they was to lose is Bama, and you know that they're not about to do that.
Oh, they actually got a conundrum on their hands, bro.
That's
Looking
what
at
I'm
this,
saying. saying. This
like,
is
because you're gonna have to pick between Clemson. Let's assume Clemson wins, okay? And let's assume Clemson wins. SMU falls out of the top 12. I'm okay with that, honestly. Like, I'm not even tripping if that happens. Whatever. Okay, so you got number 17 Clemson, who won their conference. You have Boise State at number 10. Assume they win their conference, and then you're gonna have number 16 and 15 Arizona State and Iowa State playing for the Big 12. So out of those three, like the three groups that I just mentioned, so Boise State, Clemson, and whoever wins Iowa State, Arizona State, one of them is going to have to not be in the top 4, because the winner of the Big Ten, the winner of the SEC will be in the top 4. Man, I didn't know that it actually came down to like this close in the rankings. Honestly, I didn't pay attention to that.
I don't think that the committee paid attention to what they set precedent for, because if Clemson wins, it's not just about. There's a lot of factors that plays in if Clemson goes ahead and wins that game. Like I said, do you sit there and say, "Hey, I'm jumping Clemson over Arizona State or Iowa State, the either winner"? Because to be honest, they're about even, and the committee is saying that they're even because they got them at 15 and 16, right? So your win will only be against 15, 16. Whereas if Clemson won, their win will be against the number 8 seed, right?
Yep.
So that's where the tricky part. They could still say, "Hey, Big 12, your conference don't mean anything."
Yep.
Keep Clemson up there, and that's just. It's really crazy. I think it's
I don't see a way
they
do that. I honestly don't see a way they do that, bro. Like Clemson at 17, if they win that game, I don't see how they can jump them above any of those teams, because you already got Arizona State and what's the name at 15 and 16. They're already ranked higher than Clemson. So I don't know. But the rule that you just read, go ahead.
You saying that you have no issue with them dropping SMU out. But here's the thing, because Lane Kiffin, like I said, those SEC coaches was crying, right? About playing in that SEC championship game. I know Lane Kiffin wish he was playing the SEC championship game now. But they said that the conference championship game is not going to harm you. But if SMU goes in there and lose for playing an extra data point game, how do you keep them out?
I don't know, brother. I don't know. That's gonna be so interesting, bro.
This is gonna set a precedent for next year. Like I know, because next year we'll probably still have the 12 team, and I think after that, that's when they expand it. But you're setting a very dangerous precedent right here, because the ACC is sitting here like, hey, that's our chance to get 2 teams in, right? Because the ACC is sitting here like they're only getting 1 team in. The Big 12 only getting 1 team in. You know what I'm saying? And then the Big 10 and the SEC looking to get 4 teams in.
Bro, this is crazy. Look, I'm still stuck on that rule that you read, Mike. Can you pull it back up, bro? So listen, all 5 of the teams that win their conferences, right? They're all automatic bids. You don't have to pull the graphic up. I was talking about the rule that you read.
Yeah.
So if Clemson wins, they automatically are in the playoffs. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Based on that
automatically in.
That is crazy. So Clemson.
It says the 4 highest ranked conference champions will be seeded 1 through 4 and will receive a first round bye. The 5th conference champion will be seeded where it was ranked or at number 12 if it is outside the top 12 rankings. Non-conference champions ranked in the top 4 will be seeded beginning at number 5 because of this seeding.
Oh yeah, I got it now. So basically, this is the automatic G5 bid, but instead, in this case, it's probably going to end up going to Clemson, because they'll be, if they win the they're 17. If they win the ACC, they'll automatically probably slide in at 12, because I don't think that win's going to bump them up to anything higher than 12.
Bro, look at Miami sitting there at 12. Like,
No, they're out.
We're
Miami's
not
gone.
one of the
They can't
top
move up.
12 teams.
Yeah, Miami's out. Honestly, bro. Like,
Dang.
I never thought that would be the case this year, but they're done, bro. There's going to be an automatic bid in that 12 spot, and they already set the precedent that we cannot. If you didn't play this weekend, you're not moving up. Basically, like you can move down, you're not moving up because, I mean, unless like every single team, if you were the 6th seed and 3 teams in front of you lost or something, they might do that. But even then, from what they were saying is if you didn't play, we can't compare you to teams that played. So
right. Well, as we go from those rankings, we got some very important rankings, man. And this is what we like to call the lifeblood of any program, and that's National Signing Day. The recruits, man. We had the father of 5-star Riley Pettigene, Duke Pettigene, right here on this show, and he committed to the Buckeyes. Shout out to the Pettigene. I said Pettigene. Excuse me. The Pettigene family, shout out to them, are now Buckeyes, right here on this platform, So what do you think about National Signing Day? Before I get your thoughts on that, I want to list off the top 10. You have Texas at number 1, Georgia at number 2, Bama at 3, Oregon at 4, Ohio State at 5, Auburn at 6, Michigan at 7, LSU at 8, Texas A&M at 9, and Tennessee at 10. That's how the rankings are shaking out right now. Now, that is early signing day. There are some recruits like David Sanders who decided they weren't going to sign yet. So there's still some fish out there in the sea. And then also you now have the transfer portal. So Terry, what's your first thoughts about National Signing Day?
Dude, honestly, my first thoughts about it, even though, I know the trajectory or whatever the image of the program is bad right now, my first thought with the class is I like the class that we signed. I think we signed a really good class. I think we got a lot of dogs and like kind of the right spots. I know, there's obviously deficiency with like the O-line, D-line and stuff like that. We'll get into that. But I mean, overall, dude, I love this class. I mean, I think we got a lot of good players that are going to be like starters at Ohio State and play a lot of snaps here and hopefully win a lot of games. So,
yeah. Hey, right now, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button, man. We appreciate all of y'all right now for being in here. Make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button. Share with a friend. Let everybody know so we can get everybody in here. Make sure you're leaving your comments in the live chat. Let us know, hey, if you hate a team, let us know who you hate, If you like a team, let us know which team you like. Go ahead and put that all in the comments, in the live chat. We appreciate y'all for being here, man. But National Signing Day, it's kind of crazy that SEC still is reigning supreme in that. You have what? Texas, Georgia, Bama, Auburn, LSU, Texas A&M. That's Tennessee. That's 7 teams that are in the top 10 in recruiting. But guess what? Your second conference, the Big Ten, has the other 3. So, I mean, right there shows you exactly how this recruiting is going to go. And to be honest, I think moving forward, these are the 2 conferences that you're going to see leading the pack, especially hitting July with revenue sharing, where a lot of these other programs might try to compete with the Big Ten and the SEC, starting off, but they might put themselves into a lot of debt if they're going to try to keep up with the Big Ten and SEC when it comes to revenue. But I think that if you're a kid, you're looking, it's like, how it was like a lot of kids used to say D1 or nothing at all or whatever. It's going to be Big Ten or SEC or nothing at all. Like, it's going to end up getting that way. So, I mean, guys, just follow the trend. I'm telling y'all, pay attention to it. I do want to give our loyal member, Posh, what's up, homie? She said, hey, Mike and Terry, go Bucks. Definitely go Bucks. We appreciate you, Posh. So yeah, Terry, what do you think about the trend on recruiting? You know, what's going on? We did see a lot of flips going on today, and you know, these recruiting directors On3, which is fairly new, but mostly like 24/7 and Rivals. You know, they've been putting out crystal balls. Most of the time, these guys are right and hitting on things, but these kids seem to be leading them astray. What do you think about this new era of recruiting, man?
Hey, recruiting is crazy now, man. Just like watching today, all the people that flipped, and it's just like it doesn't even really like Ohio State. You know, we had a Naeem Offord flip, and it was just like, okay, like I don't know. I mean, you know what I mean? Like I don't know what you. A flip shouldn't make or break your class now, especially if you're a team that's going to be aggressive and try to be flipping people. So I don't know, man. Like I don't hate it. I feel like the talent is spreading out. You know, you see like big time players going to Auburn, Oklahoma, like all over the place. So really, so I kind of like that. That just makes for like chances for bigger upsets. You know what I mean? Sometimes it only takes one or two NFL players on a team to upset one of like the top teams in the country. So I just hope it continues. And then obviously, dude, with NIL, it's really crazy right now. I mean, you know, the recruitments are going down to like the literal last minute where it's like, okay, I just got off the phone with them. Now let me get back on the phone with them and see what we can do NIL wise, if they can, you know, and then eventually at one point, one of the teams is going to tap out and then the player is going to announce their, you know, where they're going. So, yeah, I mean, we can dive into like some of the actual recruits and stuff like that if you want. You know,
yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I think a lot of Buckeye fans, you know, like they say, you know, hurt and shocked by the offer thing. I know a lot of Buckeye fans was holding out hope, but I tried to tell a lot of people, you know, that Oregon game in Eugene had a lot more implications than I think that people didn't understand, and recruiting was one of them. And I think after that game, man, it kind of had solidified that he was going to Oregon. You know, I think that the Auburn smoke, like Auburn was down there, his hometown. And I just think that they created that smoke to try to throw people off of the Oregon thing. But I knew I had been telling my Oregon Duck friends, this guy's already silent committed to Oregon, bro. I feel like he's been silent committed for a while.
You think so?
I mean, you can kind of tell in the video if you watch his commitment video, man.
I did.
I mean, when did he do that? When was the last time he was in Oregon? Right.
Right.
Mean, so I mean, come on, man. I mean, I had already knew. So seeing the video, I wasn't surprised at all. I wasn't shocked. You know, Buckeye fans, it is what it is, man. I try to tell y'all. And don't hate on these kids. I don't hate on them. I'm actually happy for them. This is the decisions that they get to make. They get to live out their life. I can't be mad at nobody for wanting to live out their life. Now, there is one that I have no idea why he went there, and that is big old Thanos, Jakeem Stewart going to USC to play defense for Lincoln Riley, who is linked to UCF. But I mean, I don't understand. What do you think about Thanos going over to USC?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I got word at least that from the very beginning that kid kind of wanted more money than what, like, because I'm looking at this from an Ohio State perspective. Obviously, like from my understanding, is he wanted more money than what they wanted to pay. And I mean, if USC, like if you're USC right now and you want defensive players that are elite, that's what you have to do. You know what I mean? Look at Michigan right now. Michigan can get some D tackles, some linebackers, stuff like that. But if they want the elite of the elite offensive players, they're going to have to pay a lot of money for that. And that's what they had to do with Bryce Underwood. So, I mean, it's the same thing with USC, dude. And hopefully the kid balls out. I think he's a good kid. You know what I mean? Hopefully he goes out there and turns into like the future NFL player that I felt like he probably would be if he went to some of a different team that was not USC, who is just renowned for having a terrible defense. So,
Gotcha. I mean, to be honest, man, like this recruiting stuff, everybody was making fun of Ohio State spending $20 million. And then it's funny because when the numbers came out, we saw a few schools who was above Ohio State. And everybody talking about Ohio State roster. I mean, one of those rosters being Ole Miss. And guess what? Ole Miss, where are you?
Nah, for real.
Where are you? So
I think it's just because we got Caleb Downs, bro. We got Caleb Downs, and everybody's like, "This is the one. This is the roster right here."
I think it was just because we landed the Caleb Downs and then Judkins and Seth McLaughlin. Those were just big names, right? So you got 3 big names. Everybody blew it out of proportion. I think that's what that was, but I think that Ohio State is going to need to get more than 3 big names out of the portal this year. Speaking of it, as an Ohio State fan, they took their L. They took a lump again. 4 straight to that team up north. We've had days to sit on this, and it looks like Russ Bjork right now is riding with Ryan Day. I can say, we just spoke about recruiting. You can see that a lot of the recruits are still riding with Ryan Day, and a lot of the recruits' parents are riding with Ryan Day. And, Terry, it was very hard for me this season, because I was projecting, and, I felt like this was a year where we could make a nice playoff run, right? But I didn't feel we would win a national championship. I was open and honest about that. And I felt like next year was that year because of the Twitch monsters that I felt like are going to have no choice but to play next year. And to be honest, out of that recruiting class and these guys coming in and these parents that are coming in who understand the game and been teaching there, we talk about Riley Pettijohn and his dad, Duke Pettijohn, and what they did, what he did, on the collegiate level and pro level as well, right? And then you have, Sanchez coming in, Devin Sanchez, and what he's learned from his dad. And you just have these guys coming in who are already Twitch, but also have a high IQ for football, man. Is there something for Buckeye fans to look forward to, or do we still keep harping on? Because, I don't know. I'm trying to move forward. It is what it is, man. I'm pissed about it, obviously. But, what good is it to continue to harp on something when the recruits families, and everybody is moving on to the next playoff game into the future?
Yeah, and for me, Mike, I kind of been thinking about this. We can talk about it if you want. We can go down the path. I actually haven't even been on camera yet to talk about it, which is kind of unfortunate. I had some stuff to deal with when I was supposed to be on the show with Ron and them the other day. But I'm looking at this from a non-fan perspective, from an athlete perspective. I played football, I played baseball in high school. And we lost games that I didn't feel like we should have lost. Now, obviously, this is the Michigan game, and my team didn't have a rival like that was up to that point. But they still have games to play. At some point, we have to move on and start talking about the playoff game. Now, for me, it's probably not going to happen until we at least know who we're playing against, because I just think that what happened in that Michigan game was it was completely inexcusable, bro. I've never seen maybe the 2015 Michigan State game is the only one. I don't know, maybe some of the urban games like Iowa, stuff like that. But I've never seen a team just go out and just the coaching. I feel like the staff just completely got out-coached. And that makes me so upset because people are going to clown on Jack Sawyer, Denzel Burke, even JT Tuimoloau, they're going to clown on all of them guys for the rest of their fucking life, bro, because they never beat Michigan. And they showed up to this game, and every single one of those motherfuckers was ready to go, bro. I swear they were all ready to go. And, I'm not saying they didn't make mistakes, but that's not how football works, bro, especially not in big-time games. You make mistakes, you make plays. That's how it is. That's sports. It's everything. You know what I mean? But I feel like the players showed up ready to go, bro, and played their freaking hearts out. And I just feel like the staff just choked up and was just so terrified to make a mistake that they let the players down. That's where I'm at with him. I'm sorry, I just went on like a long rant there, Mike. And
Nah, you good, bro. I mean, because
I went from
that's how I felt, man. Like I think I even put a tweet out about it. I didn't blame the players at all for that, man. I honestly feel the coaches put them in a bad spot. And I know some people say, hey, Will Howard looked like maybe he was concussed or whatever. That's still on the coaches, right?
100%.
And
100%.
To me, that's no excuse. I've seen JT Barrett go down twice in the Team Up North game, and Ohio State was down. I think both times.
I think so, or they were barely winning.
Yeah, or barely. It was a tight game, and the Cardell Jones, we finished it off. He won, right? That's third string quarterback, right? Yep. Then JT goes down again. That game, I know we were down. We weren't winning. We weren't winning that game. Actually, he came in. It was third and long. He threw a dot that sent Austin Mack to the sidelines, right? So
and caught it though.
Yeah, he caught it, but it was a dot, right?
Yeah.
So to me, again, no excuses, bro. Should have been empty in the bags, man. But
it's like Dorian said in the chat. Sorry to interrupt you, Mike. Like Dorian said in the chat, like DB should have played. Like I'm not even go down that path, especially not me, because I'm already known as like the DB guy as it is. But like Mike said, if you feel that way, that another quarterback should have been in the game, or if that's what should have happened because Will was concussed, it's just like Mike said, that falls right back on the coaches being tight and being just terrified to lose and play this game in any way that they could possibly win. Like you literally played so scared that you didn't win the game when you should have beat that team by 20 points. Like, let's be real, bro. That I know Michigan was playing better later in the year, all that good stuff. I do not care, bro. Michigan's offense did absolutely nothing at all. And I mean, until the end of the game where they drove the ball 2 times down the field, they did nothing. I mean,
and I think that also, like we're cool with some people in the beat, but the beat overall, I think that they need to stop playing Ohio State fans like we're dumb. Like Ohio State fans watch videos on YouTube for hours. Ohio State fans like they watch film. You think that they don't rewatch games whether we win or lose? Ohio State fans, you know how many Ohio State fans I talked to who have probably watched the 2023 Ohio State Team Up North game? How many times they actually watched it and we talked about film? How many times we have played it in the Discord, Terry, and just broke down the film? Like, there are people, like, they got to stop treating Ohio State, and not just the beat, the Ohio State, Jerry Emming, Ryan Day, like,
all of them.
You have to stop treating Ohio State fans like they're stupid and they don't know what they're talking about, because the crazy part is Ryan, everybody want to say, oh, Ryan Day's this genius because after the Oregon game, he had to go sit in the Ohio State defensive room. Is he a genius? Because, Terry, weren't we all saying that we need to be doing more pressure? We need to allow Jim Knowles to get back to who Jim Knowles is? And our beat sits here and tells us, hey, we need to trust $1 million people. I'm not making $1 million, but I damn sure knew it. I mean, we can go find film of me on playback, just sitting here watching the game. And guess what? I was able to call every single damn play out by the team up north. I don't get paid $1 million, but damn it, I knew it. Stop playing us like we stupid, bro. We know ball.
Yeah, and I mean, just the simple fact that, like, you could feel the tension on like, I know it's a Ohio State Michigan game. It's going to be like that, but they just choked up, bro. Like, they literally just choked up and didn't take any risk at all. And it's just like, oh, you think you're just going to win the game without taking risk? Like, come on, man. Yeah. That's not how it works. Not how it works. Even down to like all year long, dude. And this, I got into like a little bit of an argument with people in our chat about, the field goal kicker, right? Like I don't even blame the kid for missing the field goals. I don't. I mean, I knew, and I think almost every single person, including Ryan Day, including Chip Kelly, including anybody that's helping Ryan Day make decisions, they all knew that Jaden Fielding is not like some automatic kicker. And I know that before this, he was, 11 for 11 on field goals under 35 yards. And the field goals he kicked were not longer than that. Bro, all year long, we've been going for it on fourth down to not put him in spots to kick field goals all year long. And then in this game, it's like, okay, well, it's the Ohio State-Michigan game. So now I'm scared to death because, oh, my gosh, what if we turn the ball over on the 15-yard line and Davis Warren drives 85 yards for a touchdown? It's not happening. It's not fucking happening. There's no reason why we shouldn't have been going for it on 4th and 5, 4th and whatever the hell they didn't go for it on. I just seen Ryan Day the other day, the game right before this one, throw it was 3rd and 35 and we got 20 yards or whatever, 25 on the first play, 4th and 10, and he went for it and got the first down and scored a touchdown on that drive. You know what? I'm lying. I don't know if they scored a touchdown or not, but they went for it and got the fucking first down and had a chance to go score a touchdown. So I don't know, man.
2 back-to-back plays by Carnell Tate is what you're talking about. Yeah, I remember. I know exactly what you're talking about. But what we're going to do, Terry, right here, we're going to put it to bed. Like our homie Posh said, we are looking forward and we are moving forward and we're waiting for these conference championship games. You know what I'm saying? So we can figure out who the hell the Buckeyes is playing, man. So we are going to move forward with that. And my guy Doug said, I'm excited to watch Riley Pettijohn play. I think you'll be excited as well. The boy, I enjoy watching him. He reminds me old school hitting. One thing that when he hits somebody, like one thing that we've talked about, like Caden Curry, like we want to hear him or see him in the game because every time we hear the pass popping. I think that's
how many snaps he played, Mike?
We're moving forward, Terry. We're moving forward, Terry.
We're talking about Caden Curry. Wanted to see him in the game. It was 3, I think. I'm pretty sure it was 3 snaps, Mike. Come on, bro.
But that's why I said next year they ain't got no choice but to play the Twitch monster. So I'm moving forward, man. I'm moving forward. So, but yeah, I think that Buckeye fans are really going to be excited to see him.
Oh,
and
sure.
Also, one thing, Buckeye fans, like we know football, right? What have we been talking about? We need our linebackers to trigger. Obviously, we've been seeing it a lot out of Arvell Reese. Cody Simons has been doing a pretty good job out of it. But I think with one thing that I told you all, Terry, I said, we could lose the DB in this class. I said, but we cannot lose these 2 linebackers, man. And I think that we got those type of linebackers that got the speed, the power, and I'm really excited for Riley, man. I've gotten to see him up close a couple times. So, and also he got that dog in him. Just gonna let you know that. And his dad got that dog in him. So if you are in the stands by Duke Pettijohn, hey, he gonna be probably the loudest person in that stadium. I'm telling you, he gonna come with the juice. He gonna come with the juice, bro.
I love when we talk to him on here. Did you see what TJ Alford said after he committed? Somebody did an interview with him, and he goes, there was a thing that came out a while back where people were saying that he was thinking about flipping because Ohio State doesn't let their linebackers be athletic, right? Mm-hmm. And he literally said it after when they were talking to him. He's like, people were telling me that Ohio State doesn't let their linebackers be athletic, and I'm going to show them that that's not true. And he referenced Sonny Styles. He's like, I'm going to be basically like, they asked him what is his role going to be at Ohio State, something like that. And he basically said like, basically I'm going to be doing what Sonny Styles does. I'm like, it was like this kind of cool interview moment. If you guys get a chance, check it out on Twitter.
Him at the Sonny Styles spot with Riley right there in the middle, bro. I'm telling you, bro, that's gonna be some problems. And I mean, like, bro, Riley like aggressive, bro. Like dude just seemed overly aggressive to me, man. I love it. So,
Track star, middle linebacker.
Bruh, for real. I mean, he's on kickoff. And dude's like what? Right there in the middle. Dude first one down there. So I mean, I watched this dude come down on I think it was a kickoff for the game winning kickoff or whatever. He caused the fumble or whatever, and his teammate recovered it. Like, dude coming down with bad intentions, bro. Like, I'm really excited.
Love that, man.
Yeah.
Can't wait for him.
But we got some conference championship games like we was talking about, man. Things are going to shake out. We have a noon kickoff on ABC. Iowa State takes on Arizona State. I like these both coaches, man. Matt Campbell, what he's continued to do with Iowa State in the Big 12, continuing to keep them relevant. But then also the young coach on fire at Arizona State. They started off a little shaky beginning of the season, but they've been playing with their hair on fire. This coach has been going crazy, man. I think that this is going to be a good game. I'm probably going to go with Iowa State because, like, even the head coach of Arizona State knows they don't finish games very well. And sometimes Iowa State has those issues, but they've been in this situation before.
Yeah, and I mean, I honestly, Mike, I haven't paid a ton of attention to these two teams, bro. I know, like, from what I do know about them, I think I think Arizona State's gonna win the game.
Oh,
yeah, I think Arizona State's gonna win the game. I mean, again, I'm not gonna go into too much details. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know a ton about these two teams, because I've been following the Big Ten, the SEC mostly this year, and then some of the top teams. Honestly, I didn't think either one of these teams were going to be the teams that came out of the Big 12. I thought it was going to be two completely different teams. So,
facts.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here. Exactly. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know a ton about them. But from what I know about it, Arizona State, don't bet no money on that, please.
And you got what else we got? We have a 4 p.m. kickoff against Georgia takes on Texas. And this is for the SEC championship game. Now, obviously, Georgia somehow in big games all the time, they get home field advantage in the postseason. I don't understand how this continues to happen. Somebody has to change this. but that's what that is what we are stuck with, man. So Georgia, the last time, looked like Texas did not deserve to belong on the field with them, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Do things change? ESPN's FPI projector has Texas at 61%. Well, so what are you thinking?
Yeah, honestly, I do think that this game is going to go different than last time. I think Texas is going to win this game. I really do. I think that Quinn Ewers later in the season, I feel like he's going to get better. He went through an injury earlier in the year, and he was coming back from that. And I just think that also, the one thing that kind of gives me like hesitation to say that is Kirby Smart's defense is kind of like hand tailor made to stop this style of offense that Texas runs. But I do think that after playing them one time, I think that Sark knows that they're going to have to go deep. They're going to have to make plays downfield if they want to win this game. And I do think that they have the players to do it. They have the speed. And I think that Quinn's going to hit those throws. I'm just not at a point, honestly, where I have no faith in Carson Beck, bro. I have zero faith in him at all. Even last year, like I never said that he was one of the best players, like one of the best quarterbacks in college football. Everybody was saying that. I never felt that from watching him play, bro. And coming into this year, obviously he has like some really bad games this year. I cost Georgia some games, and then honestly, one game that they shouldn't even have won, he threw like 4 interceptions. I forget which game it was. But he threw like 3 or 4 interceptions, and they still won the game. So I don't know. I think Texas will take care of business in this one.
All right, Terry going Texas, man. One thing that was a big concern was Texas could not protect Quinn Ewers, and it looked like Quinn Ewers just was not able to be mobile. So, if they do, and then they tried to put Archie in, the moment was too big. So we'll see. Like I said, this is right in Georgia's backyard. Georgia has the home field advantage. Their fans definitely show up very well. I know Texas fans also travel well, but here's the thing, man. I think like you said, it's hard to ride with Carson Beck, man. I'm not really choosing Carson Beck. I'm mostly choosing Kirby Smart in that defense, man.
Yeah.
Because if Quinn Ewers doesn't have time, bro, I don't think that he's going to be able to hit his target. Now it is hard to beat someone twice, so I wouldn't be surprised if Texas wins. So, I mean, like I said, this game go either way because you don't know which Carson Beck is going to show up.
Yeah.
But
that's where I'm at too. But I mean, I'm just predicting that he won't show up.
I got you. But if Georgia loses 10-3, they stay in the playoffs?
Yeah, dude. Come on. They're not out, bro. Especially the reason why the committee's saying that they can't move people too much based on these games is for situations like that. Like, I promise you, if SMU loses, they're going to be out of the playoffs. But if Georgia loses, they're not.
That is crazy. That is insane. This is brand bias.
That's fine, bro. I'm cool with it. Whatever. Listen, I think Georgia's a better team than SMU. And to me, I think it's the best teams. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with it.
Man. Well, we're going to go ahead and go over to UNLV takes on Boise State Friday, 7:00 p.m. kickoff on Fox. I think that this is the only conference game that Fox has because they don't have the Big Ten this year. So, big noon kickoff going to be out there, Boise, Idaho. Does Boise continue with their season? Because I mean, obviously, we know who they have. Gentry, the Heisman, one of the Heisman candidates, but it does seem like he's starting to get dead leg as the season has gone on. Does that catch Boise Broncos in this game?
No, dude. It's going to be an Ashton Genty special. They're going to take care of business. I really don't see that being an issue. I know you said he's starting to get dead legs, but I think the last game he went crazy. I'm trying to look it up real quick. The game that they just played, he went for 276 yards and 1 touchdown. So I mean, I do agree with you that he was starting to slow down a little bit towards the middle of the season, towards the late middle of the season. But I think that when it gets in the game, they're going to give him the ball. They're going to run him into the ground. I think that Genty's a really good player. They have a really good scheme. I think Boise State will take care of business in this. I don't really see them having too many issues.
Gotcha. All right. And then we have Big Ten matchup. Penn State gets into the Big Ten championship because Ohio State can't take care of business at home to face Oregon. In Indy, man. James Franklin back in Indy since 2016. He did get the win back in 2016. Will James Franklin get the dub in 2024?
Okay, so I was looking in the chat, Mike, and my guy Steve asked me for the shock pick of the week or upset pick of the week, whatever it is. There's only a couple games for me to go off of this week, but this is the one, dude. And honestly, I thought this already before I even read that. I think that Oregon can I think that Penn State can beat Oregon. And I'm going to tell you why. This is why, though. Penn State, they have an edge rusher that can get after the quarterback. Abdul Carter can get 3 sacks in this game, or 1 sack and 4 pressures, or hit Dylan Gabriel and make him turn the ball over. And what Oregon is going to do to try to counter that is they're going to try to lean on their quick pass game. And Penn State's corners, they're not the best corners in college football, but every single year their corners are very good at attacking the short game and tackling. You think about how many times we throw screens against Penn State and they blow it up in the backfield. They're very good at that. I think that Penn State's defense is going to have real smoke for Oregon. And also, I think that Drew Aller is a really good quarterback. A lot of people have gave Drew Aller flack. I think that they don't have crazy wide receivers, but what they do have is they have a run game that can move the chains, and they have Drew Aller who can get the ball out to what's the tight end's name? One of the best in the country. His name's blanking me.
Tyler Warren. Yeah, that's my fantasy guy.
Yeah. They got Julian Fleming. He's in for a legacy game. I'm joking about that one. Anyway, Tyler Warren, Drew Aller.
Championship, by the way, since people wanted to troll and say that this is his first one. This is his second one. I think he got a catch in the first one that he played in too, though. I'm just saying.
And listen, Steve in the chat is the one who asked about the pick. He says that I'm rolling with James Franklin. But here's the thing that people don't realize. James Franklin is to Ohio State what Ryan Day is to Michigan right now. James Franklin has been playing close games with Ohio State every single year, and he always ends up losing that game. And it's in his head. I know it's in his head. He always ends up making stupid play calls late in the game that cost the team. And honestly, that's what Ryan Day is having right now with Michigan. James Franklin doesn't have that issue with Oregon. I think James Franklin is going to have this team ready to play. I really do.
I think I'm going to go with Oregon in this game, man. James Franklin is known to do dumb stuff. James Franklin could be up by 2 damn touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, and still find a way to fuck the game.
That's hilarious.
He's my French, though, but that's what James Franklin is known to do. You talking about close game. This man, James Franklin, had us blown out the water right in our own house and messed the whole game up, bruh. Had the dumbest play calls to just their fan base was sitting there looking like our fan base was to our play calling when they lost against us in Columbus that one year, bro.
Are you talking about the JT game, bro? The JT Legacy game where he went 16 for 16?
It was that probably was one of them, but I was talking about the one where there was in Columbus, bro, where Saquon Barkley opened up and took it to the crib. Like, we couldn't do nothing, like, bruh.
Hey, listen, but again, James Franklin has a mental block with Ohio State. Same way Ryan Day has with Michigan right now. For him to do the dumb shit that he did this weekend, James Franklin has that with Ohio State, and he's beat them one time, and he's honestly got very lucky to beat Ohio State that one time. Like, if we're being real, he was lucky when he won that game.
Well, yeah, it was like a special teams blunder or something like that.
I think it was 2 special teams blunders, yeah.
Yeah. Well, lucky James Franklin. Terry got lucky James Franklin, and we got to go to the ACC, man. SMU.
Right, let's talk about it.
SMU high-powered offense is taking on Clemson, man. What do you think about this game, Terry, man? Because honestly, I think I'm going SMU now. Some people will say, hey, SMU don't have the trenches and all of this. They got some boys there, man. They got some Texas boys. They got a former Ohio State player on their team, man. And this team feels that they could play with the best of them, man. And to be honest, they haven't lost to anybody since the beginning of the season. And all I see them doing is putting up 48 points here, 38 points there. I mean, we've seen Clemson, they lost to South Carolina 17-14. They could only put up 14 points there. They was able to put 51 points up on the Citadel. But, I mean, the most points they've been able to put up, I say since the beginning of November is 24 points besides the Citadel game. Other than that, they've only put up 21 and 14 points. So give me SMU also. SMU looking better on defense, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I think I agree with you. Like, we did all the talking in the beginning of the show. about what happens if Clemson wins this game. I don't think Clemson's going to win this game, dude.
Right.
I think SMU will take care of business. They're ranked, already in the playoff rankings. I think at like 8 or something like that. I think they'll go ahead and take care of this, and that'll bump them up into the top 4 because they'll be one of the top 4 champions. And I mean, I don't know. That's kind of it, dude. I don't believe in Clemson. I don't believe in what Dabo's got going on down there until they, do something to show me otherwise. And now, obviously, SMU is not a team that's constantly in the running for anything. But also, when you get into these conference championship games, like high-powered offenses, they usually end up like going crazy in these types of games. You know what I mean? And I think that's what SMU has. So they'll take care of business and cement themselves in the college football playoffs. And whoever gets to play them, I think will be lucky, to be honest. But that's another story.
About lucky. I'll tell you this. I think SMU should go ahead and take a page out of Ryan Day's 2020 book on Clemson and go bombs over Baghdad, bro. I think SMU players got the speed. I think that they got the athleticism, and I would just go bombs over Baghdad. And I think once you get the score up, I mean, hey, once you get the score up, I don't think that Clemson is built to go ahead and do that and compete like that. You already hear, I think Dabo is already giving his losing speech because, I mean, as I sit here, what pops up? Dabo campaigns for multiple ACC teams to reach the playoffs. I mean, Dabo, if there's any other teams that should probably make it, it's not Clemson, and it would probably be Miami over you. So I'd rather see Miami over Clemson personally if we had to choose multiple. But I mean,
like if Clemson won that game, I think they should not go in the playoffs over Miami. But whatever, I guess that's the rule they made. But like, I think Clemson will I think Miami will wax Clemson if they played them.
Facts. So
and I'm over here complimenting Miami while Gmo's in here talking shit about Ohio State.
Oh man,
Cam Ward should have been a Buckeye, and he would have been in the playoffs. We probably would have beat Michigan, to be honest. That's another conversation for another day. Yeah. But anyway, he should have been a Buckeye. He went to Miami, and they ain't even gonna make the playoffs. Man, that's sick.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, we know Gmo. We understand Gmo is hurt right now. We understand Gmo hurting right now. I would be hurt too if a Honda came in and ran their car all over my lawn too, bruh. Yeah. Just had they way did everything they wanted to all up in your crib, bro.
I forgot about that, bro. They lost to Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord knocked them out the playoffs.
Yeah, Kyle McCord, man. He went ahead and broke records. Kyle McCord broke records.
He went in the locker room and danced on him.
Boy, he was out there. Yeah. That boy Kyle McCord was out there spitting bars like he was from Miami Dade, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But man, Terry, do you got anything else for the people before we get out of here, man?
I don't got nothing else, man.
All right, let the people know where they can follow you.
Yeah, just at CFB_stop on Twitter. That's where I be on there talking shit all the time. Got a lot about Ryan Day recently, but I'm about to move on. I promise y'all I'm about to move on. I promise you. I'm gonna do it.
We told Posh we was moving on. I'm keeping my word, Posh. I'm keeping my word.
I'm sorry, Posh. I'm not a liar, but I will move on Sunday when I find out who we are playing, and that is my final answer. All right, you got it, Mike.
All right, y'all. We are out of here, man. Again, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to the Best Damn Media channel, where we bring you content every single day. Right here, man. And again, like I said, we appreciate you. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on the X app or formerly the Twitter app at 216_wildboy. Catch me in the spaces. Also, catch our Discord. The link is in the bio. Don't miss out, because we're definitely going to watch some film and talk some stuff in there as well. Terry probably be in there breaking down some film. So we appreciate all y'all. And it's still go Bucks and fuck Michigan. Let's go. Welcome to the Fans Ed Sports Show. But thank God I'm not a Florida fan. Just out here looking trash.
People call me crazy for saying